I've always wanted to try a turkey leg because me and Jason go to Florida every year, as you probably know. They look and smell so good, but they also kind of freak me out a touch. But I've always wanted to try one, so maybe we should try one this year. I can't get this tickle out of my throat.
Allergies from sitting in the grass.
Where do you want me to move it to?
Scooch down that way a little bit.
Who, me or the phone?
You. You kept moving. I was moving the table and you kept moving.
Awesome job, Caitlin, getting that spin class on. I'm frozen. Uh-oh. One tall man, I did stop eating vegan. It wasn't something that, I know I did videos on that, but it was something I was just trying out for like a week. And I actually ended up doing for close to 2 weeks. I kind of switched to more of a vegetarian week 2. But my purpose was just more trying to focus on whole foods and kind of incorporating more fruits and vegetables. And I just kind of wanted to try out something different, but it was nothing that I specifically was planning on continuing for a long period of time. I live in Syracuse, New York. Actually, I live right outside Syracuse, but my run today was awesome. Thanks for asking. It was like perfect weather. You couldn't ask for better weather. It was sunny and actually felt really good today in my new Adidas Boost. Those sneakers were awesome. I just felt really good. It was probably the best run I've had in a while. And it was 10 miles, so that was a lot for me. I don't run that much anymore. Tips for a first-time bikini competitor post-show. I kind of have a lot. I guess it really depends on the person, but I would suggest definitely not treating post-show like it's like you're over and done with competing. Even though you are not competing anymore, you kind of want to be careful with your diet post-show, whether you reverse diet or not. It's a time that you need to be a little bit careful with how you treat your body and your eating choices, because your body is very delicate after competing, after restricting for so long. And what happens to a lot of people, even happened to myself, is post-show depression and just kind of feeling a little bit lost. Some people get low self-esteem due to gaining weight and not feeling and seeing that stage day leanness anymore. So just being careful. I don't want people to be overly obsessive post-show, because I think it's important to also live life post-show, but making sure that you're treating your body well, not treating it like, you know, I have to get it all in today and then I'll just start the day over fresh tomorrow. The quicker you can take that mindset away, the easier it'll be. And another recommendation I would say is keep going to the gym. Don't stop going to the gym. I know for me, the gym keeps me motivated. It keeps me feeling good. It keeps me accountable. When I go to the gym in the morning, it's easier for me to eat healthy all day long, because I already started my day off with something healthy and something positive, and it makes me that much more motivated to stay eating healthy and stay positive for the rest of the day. Let's see. Hey, what's up, guys? You would not die if you did 10 miles, Sam. You're an athlete and you're fit. I bet you could do it. I seriously believe running is more mental than it is physical. Although if you're a little bit more trained, the aftermath, you won't be as sore and your body won't feel as shitty. But running to me has always been more of a mental challenge than it is physical. It's hard to explain if you've never run long distance before, the kind of tricks that your mind can play on you running like longer distance. Let's see. Does Shredded Jesus take in protein per his body weight? Shredded Jesus, how much protein do you eat? Probably about per your body weight.
Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more.
Yeah, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more.
I'm not like,
yeah, Jason's also not super precise. You know, he's not a bodybuilder, but he stays very lean all the time. He's very in tune with his body. A lot of people don't have that ability the way that Jason does. But he's someone that does not typically overeat, and he can more easily undereat, to be honest with you, if he doesn't track his food. So depending on how his body feels, he usually is right around his body weight, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little bit more, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Which is why, like, for me cutting right now, I put in place having ranges, because some days if I'm more hungry, I'm going to take advantage and do the higher end of my range, and then other days when I'm not as hungry, I'm going to go to the lower range. So like for me, tomorrow is when my hunger will kick in because I ran 10 miles today. So tomorrow I'll probably be a little bit hungrier, and tomorrow I am going to plan to, if I need to, I'm not going to force feed myself, but mentally I'm going to go in tomorrow saying, Carrie, you can have 50 more carbohydrates tomorrow because you did run 10 miles. You did deplete the glycogen in your body, and tomorrow you're probably going to be craving it, especially since I'm going to go to the gym in the morning and lift. So my time, I think it was about like 1:44, 1:45 when we crossed the finish line. So definitely not like the fastest time in my running history. However, for most of you guys know, I don't run that much anymore. I don't run for time whatsoever. I run for pure enjoyment of it and therapeutic value. Me and my sister actually, as weird as it sounds, we have so much fun when we run together. Like there's always like the weirdest shit that happens, or like the funniest shit that we see, and we laugh, we make good memories, we make fun of people, we make fun of ourselves, and we just have a good time. So but 1:45, I was pretty happy with that, since I haven't been running that much, about a 10-minute mile out in the summer heat. I was pretty impressed with that. Are there more questions, or is my phone pausing?
How's that 7-Up treating you?
This is so good. I'm so thirsty. What kind of movies do Jason and I watch together? If it was up to him, we would only watch horror movies. Like legit horror and probably like sci-fi type movies. He's lucky I say this, because I love all kinds of movies. I like the super girly girl movies. I like the cartoon movies. Like, I am definitely going to watch that talking movie, The Pets, this week with the little talking animals. I'm super excited about that. He will come with me because he's a good sport like that. He probably wouldn't admit that he wants to see it too. But we watch a lot of horror movies. Like, we just watched The Purge this weekend. I highly recommend that. That was really good. Then we watched The Shallows, which was kind of like action-packed. We watch a lot of action movies.
Independence Day,
yeah. It was double feature weekend for Jason.
And Conjuring the week before.
Conjuring. We'll come home and I'll be like, babe, what do you want to watch? And he'll be like, I kind of want to watch a horror movie. and I'm like, come on, can't we watch like Runaway Bride or something?
You love horror movies, though. I
do love horror movies, but sometimes before bed, I just want to like mindless TV. So like lately we've been doing a lot of HGTV before bed.
Now we want a new house, though.
But that's the other problem. Now we want to buy a new house because we keep seeing all these like great homes we want to buy. But yeah, let's see what else you guys said. Carb envy. I love that.
Somebody's name's Carb Envy?
No, Caitlin says her and Brad developed the term carb envy, which is so true.
Oh.
Let's see. The new Ghostbusters movie. So, like, Jason's been all up in arms because it got horrible reviews. Like, it got the record dislikes on YouTube. Am I correct in that?
For a movie trailer?
For a movie trailer. Like, record number of dislikes. But I'm super excited for that movie. I love Melissa McCarthy. I think she's hysterical. And then you've also got, what's her name in it from Bridesmaids?
Thor's in it. Do you know that?
Thor's in it?
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm excited about the new Ghostbusters movie.
Careful about shaking the table, sweetie.
I know. I love The Walking Dead, One Tall Man. Jason and I have watched every season. We actually started watching it as soon as the pilot came out on
Halloween. It came out. I watched it, and I'm like, oh my god, you gotta watch this because you went to bed. It was Halloween.
Was it AMC that it first started on?
Yeah.
AMC, yeah. So we watched it from the very start. We're obsessed with it. And I remember it sucked because it was like 6 episodes was the pilot, and then it wasn't going to be on for a year. I'm like, there's no way I can wait a year to see what happens. It was so good. I'm going to be honest, this past season, though, I wasn't as into it, and it makes me sad, and I don't even like to admit that. I will continue to watch it, but wasn't as into this past season, so I hope it gets better this next season.
And the finale was garbage.
Finale sucked balls. Are we still working on our house? Yes, we are. Sam, I didn't know you say y'all. You're so stinking cute. I love Sam. She says y'all. Actually, we're kind of are. Like, all the painting on the inside of the house is done. We just got our deck refinished, which it needed it desperately. We had to get a couple new boards on our deck. But the next project for the inside of the house is we want to do a backsplash. So there's like part of our kitchen that we did not have painted, so we still have to go pick out. We need to do that one of these weekends,
That's
babe.
why we need to go to the tile place.
Yeah, we need to go to the tile place, and we're gonna pick out a backsplash to do behind our kitchen. I think that'll really help give it like a little pop, a little fun. So that's probably the last thing we're gonna do this summer, and then we're like officially done this summer. But now that we've started home renovations, there's like so many other things that we want to do, especially watching HGTV. It's been like all I want to do is change everything now, so it's probably not good. Let's see. Why did you do that picture? Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think with Ghostbusters, that's what it is. It's such a classic that being remade, it's going to take a lot for people to really love it, and probably because it's being remade with females and not totally like sticking to the original, I'm guessing people aren't super stoked about. I don't know, do you know why people aren't happy about
Probably
it?
what you just said.
Yeah. I am not a teacher. I'm actually a dietitian, but I work in management. But I do both. Any more questions? Do a cartwheel. Are you the same person that asked me to do a cartwheel in the gym the other day? I can't do a cartwheel. I can do basically like, what do you call it? It's like a half cartwheel. Do you know, is there like a name for that? Is it like a roundup or some shit? I don't know. I can't do a cartwheel. I never could. I joined gymnastics once in elementary school in the 5th grade, and they put people in line to do their routines based on who was the worst, and they saved the best for last. I was number 2 in the lineup because I suck that bad. I came out to Salt and Peppa, What a Man, and everyone in the audience was like, why is this fifth grader listening to What a Man? And I basically did somersaults. I just kept rolling. I just tumbled my whole routine because I had nothing else. I had nothing else I could give. I'm just not flexible there. How many pull-ups can I do? I can't do as many as I used to be able to do. That's the one thing with being a little bit round off, yep. With being a little bit heavier, I do find it harder to do pull-ups. Probably like 4. I'd say right now I can probably do a solid 4. I like to try to do the wide grip, which are harder, but for me, I'm really trying to work my lats. So it makes more sense for me to practice like a wide grip pull-up. I can get a lot more if Jason helps by like holding my knees, and I can get a ton more, which is still a great way to build your strength with pull-ups. So, I was getting close to 10 though when I was leaner, I think.
Neutral grip?
Neutral grip. Yeah. Neutral grip makes a difference. So you could start there too and do neutral grip. Do you have a cartwheel? Push-ups. I can do quite a few push-ups. I I don't know. I haven't, like, done push-ups. I did a push-up contest once, and I win something? I won, like, some beef jerky or something.
Yes, that's what you did win.
I did win it. It was for the beef, like, the beef council or something at the Boilermaker. Yeah. I could do, like, 20 to 30 straight.
Yeah.
I'm not going to right now, though. Dietitian, too bad it's 4th. All of the hot dogs and root beer you can eat.
Sounds like you're playing.
I love hot dogs and I love root beer. But I like diet root beer and, you know, yeah, hot dogs are, like, disgusting if you think about what's inside of them. And there's, like, nothing natural or healthy about it. But, you know, a lot of dietitians would say it's okay to incorporate fun foods like that on occasion, as long as the majority of your foods are coming from healthy sources. So if you want to enjoy yourself a hot dog and a root beer today, then go for it. That's my dietitian advice. So the girl that wants me to do a cartwheel also asked if I have a boyfriend and if I could kiss him or make out with him. Random requests from this girl. Interesting. Alrighty. Turkey hot dogs are veggie. Yeah. Turkey hot dogs are good, and then veggie hot dogs are good too. That's like the only thing Jason will eat are vegetarian hot dogs. Those are really good. I actually love veggie hot dogs. Probably more than turkey hot dogs.
Yeah, I think I do too. They're processed, but not processed with testicles and everything else.
Yeah, Sam, I think a lot of the people on this app are like 10 years old or something. Based on the comments that I'm not reading totally out loud because some of them don't need to be repeated. So I'm getting better with this app to not repeat everything people are writing to me because a lot of it can be inappropriate, interestingly enough. How do you feel about diet and workout based on genetics? That's an interesting question, and I'd say, like, a tough one to answer because I feel like, well, I guess it's hard for me to know how to answer that question. I think a lot of people don't really know how their genetics influence them, if that makes any sense. I don't really think a lot of people think about their genetics when they work out and make eating choices. I think I've said this before, a lot of people basically feel like their genetics are the end-all be-all and don't push themselves enough for what they can. I really think you should just, like, plan your goals, your workouts, how you want to eat based on what makes you feel good, and not worry about genetics. Don't worry about, like, well, I'm a pear-shaped person, I'm just always going to have a big-ass booty and lower body, or, well, I come from a family of big people, so I'm just genetically determined to be big the rest of my life. Like, that doesn't have to be how it's going to be. Like, you can work past your genetic potential. You can make changes regardless of your genetics, regardless of what your family looks like, regardless of what you've looked like your whole life. I believe you can make changes. So I don't think you really should base your workouts or your eating habits, like, on your genetics, if that's answering what you were asking. I'm not sure if I did or not, but trying to. I don't read Spanish, so you're gonna have to translate that one for me. I think we got a lot of youngins on here tonight.
4th of July.
A lot of, do you have a boyfriend and show me your boobs? Which, lucky for them in this outfit, I could. Not intentionally. Do you guys have any other nutrition-related questions for me?
If I eat more fruit in my diet, will you show me your boobs?
She likes the D. Do a handstand. I must be confused what this live streaming's for.
Is that the same girl?
Yes.
Tell her you're not doing any sort of gymnastics.
Alyssa Gray, I'm not a gymnast, so I will not be doing any type of aerobic handstands, cartwheels, or making out with my boyfriend. Thanks, Sam. Have a good 4th to you too. What's up, Rob Martinez? What's up? What's up? Caitlin asks, what do you think about intermittent fasting for dudes? Lifting heavy. I think that's perfectly fine. I think intermittent fasting, personally, I find that it really depends on the person and what their preference is. Some people really need to eat like every couple of hours, or else they get really like bitchy and like hypoglycemic. And you know, with intermittent fasting, you are limiting your time frame for eating. So I think it does depend on the person. I've done it and I really enjoy it. I would like to kind of go back to closing my window a bit more, because I find the more consistent I'm eating within set time frames, I do get more consistent results. It's just a little bit easier to kind of track my progress on the scale in terms of weight if you're eating within the same time frame every day. In terms of lifting heavy too, being a dude, I don't think it really matters whether you're a dude, a chick, whether you're just doing Zumba, or whether you're powerlifting. I think it's just a preference. It comes down to preference and what works best for you. And sometimes I felt like intermittent fasting worked really nicely for me, because I'm someone that likes volume. I like to feel full. I don't want to eat like a rabbit and like have to wait 3 hours to eat again. Like, I'm not about that. So for me, intermittent fasting was really nice, that I could just like eat a large meal, feel nice and full, and not eat again for like 3 to 4 hours. It was much more convenient for me. So I think that just kind of depends on the person, but it's absolutely a viable option for anyone, whether you're trying to lose weight or gain weight. You just have to be, if you're trying to gain weight, you have to be someone that's able to eat that much more in a smaller time frame, which could get difficult. What would be a reasonable amount of weight to get off, to gain in off season? I think about me from like a bikini competitor aspect. I think it might be a little bit different if you're talking about like a bodybuilder or maybe a physique competitor who's that much more shredded. But for bikini, I feel like within 5 to 10 pounds is a nice place to be. You know, again, it kind of depends on your body and what your natural weight tends to be. But I think, you know, from 5 to 10 pounds, maybe even 15 pounds is not a bad place to be. It's a reasonable place to have to cut if you want to go into a prep. I've seen people who go into preps needing to lose 30 to 40 pounds, and that's a hard cut. It's a hard cut depending on how long you're taking to cut. You know, depending on where your body naturally tends to be. I'm not naturally someone who's super lean. There are some people who are that way, but I tend to be more in the 10 to 15 pound side in the off season, being heavier than my stage weight. That's kind of where my body comfortably stays unless I'm actively pursuing a cut, trying to lose some weight. But I feel like there's nothing unhealthy with that. What gets unhealthy is when you hate yourself for where you're at. Or when you do struggle with binge eating post-competition, gain an excessive amount of weight in a short period of time, that is when you can definitely see some ramifications from that in terms of your self-esteem and the way your body looks. You know, if you gain fat in a much shorter period of time, you're not necessarily going to gain the fat you always have in the past. You're going to gain it differently. It's going to look differently. Definitely not going to look as appealing. I think intermittent fasting is a great way to jumpstart a cut, because like I was saying before, it really helped me with cutting, because I would do like a 6 to 8 hour window, and then when I'd come home at night, stupid fly, I would just be like done for the night, and it made it easier because I had that shut off point dictated for me by a time. So it was like at this fly. At 6 o'clock at night, I was like done. I was done. It wasn't an option. All my food was in, and I never really had an issue eating all my food by that period of time. And I always felt more satisfied that way, and it was easier for me to just come home and be done for the night versus like, I don't know, just like raising in the kitchen all night becomes a challenge for a lot of people. So I think that can be a very easy way to kickstart a cut, because if you're cutting back calories, but you're condensing it in a shorter period of time, you don't necessarily feel restricted. And that's key for any diet, is what can I do to not feel restricted, to not feel like I'm dieting. Oh, that is actually what I forgot to mention in my video. I forgot to talk about that in my cutting video. I can talk about that in another video. But I do think it's important to include a refeed in a cut. I was going to mention that in my other video. I forgot. That's okay. I can talk about that again. But I do think it is crucial, not only for strength purposes, for hormone levels. It can be good depending on how low you're cutting. I know for me, even though I'm not cutting low right now, I do like to include either like a refeed day or like a free meal kind of day, because mentally it's what helps keep me going. It's what helps keep me motivated. And you can still see really good results with adding in a refeed or even like a controlled free meal. So I definitely think that's great to still add in there.
There's 2 flies out here.
They will not stop. These flies are bananas.
There's only 2, and they're horrible.
It would be fun to stream with my sister. Maybe I can talk her into it sometime. She is like absolutely hilarious, but she's not someone that's used to being on the camera. If you guys watch my YouTube channel, Kara Corey Fit Life, you don't see a lot of other people on my channel, right? Other than me and Shredded Jesus. And I feel bad putting the expectation on other people to just feel comfortable being on camera and being on YouTube. I think it's asking a lot of people to put them on the spot and film them and be okay with being on camera. The majority of folks are not okay with being on camera, are not comfortable with talking on the spot. And so I try not to do that to people. But I try to get my sister on my channel as much as I can. It would be fun to do a live stream with her as well, if she was comfortable with it. I do have a really great video up on my channel, if you haven't seen it, with her, talking about her weight loss transformation. So you guys can search that on my YouTube channel if you haven't seen it, where she opens up a bit more about her struggles and what she dealt with growing up. I think it's a very helpful video. Do I get along with my neighbors? I do, actually. Like, we're very fortunate. We have a neighbor on each side of us, and both of our neighbors are like the nicest people you have ever met. Like, I don't know how we got so lucky with the neighbors that we are next to. Super helpful. Like, I can't believe it. I would have never imagined moving into a house how helpful like our neighbors would be. I can't do this with these flies. You're killing me. You're killing me. Leave me alone. Stop it. They're driving me nuts. But they're super duper nice, helpful. Would probably, if we got kicked out of our house and we're on the street, they would probably let us live with them. That's how nice they are, They're just good people. We're very, very fortunate. Do I have any fitness advice for someone just starting their fitness journey? Sure. I think just starting out your fitness journey, the best advice I could give you is think about what your goals are within your fitness journey, what you're looking to achieve. Think about what you enjoy with fitness, what kinds of benefits it brings you to your life, and try to create a plan around that. Try to incorporate fitness into your life in a way that makes you feel good and makes you feel healthy. Fitness should be fun, but it shouldn't be the only aspect of your life. Especially, I know a lot of younger kids are getting into fitness at a younger age than, say, when I was growing up. And I think it's important to enjoy fitness, but not forget to also live your life, especially if you're young. So I guess that's my best advice. I do work out a lot, I think, compared to the average person. I think I work out a regular amount, but I find, like, you know, people at work are like, oh, she works out, like, all the time. Like, when I'm like, no, I work out like the normal. You can see the fly on my head. Fucker. I feel like I work out like a normal amount. I work out like an hour, maybe an hour and a half a day. Not every day. Some days I only work out 40 minutes. Some days I work out 2.5 hours. It just depends. Like, on the weekends I work out a little bit more, because I have more free time, you know? I haven't tried muscle milk in a hot frickin' minute, but when I did not like it. Like, I could not go back to drinking muscle milk now that I drink MTS Whey, or any other whey for that matter. Like, muscle milk makes me gag. I'm sorry. Shredded Jesus, have you seen Point Break?
Yes, it's amazing. Not the remake.
Wanted to know.
Not the remake.
He hasn't seen the remake,
I wanted to, remember?
Oh, yeah, you did want
It's
to.
probably out in demand now.
Caitlin, have you and Brad seen the remake? We haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen the original, but Jason loves it. I don't know if you could hear his response. She says yes.
Trying
to figure out what helped me. Did muscle milk help me?
Help you gain muscle.
I love you. Are you asking if protein helps you gain muscle? Brad cursed at the screen the entire remake.
Really? It wasn't good?
It was not good, Caitlin. It's she says.
Yeah.
Would you still want to watch it?
Probably.
Probably, just to see it.
Get off your finger before it bites you, Cara.
Ah! Alright, this is getting out of control. I think they're biting me. Are they deer flies?
Yeah.
Crap. Alright, do you guys have any other questions before I shut this down?
Getting eaten by bugs.
Getting eaten by bugs, and The Bachelorette's on at 8 o'clock, and... I'm just being honest. And I have to get ready for work tomorrow. And do some client stuff. You're welcome, woman. Stunts were awesome, she said.
You look a little burnt.
Am I? I could be a little burnt. I was outside a lot today for my pasty
One
self.
time what you had today? Mac and Cheetos.
Today,
Was not that good.
I tried a mac and Cheeto from Burger King.
Complete letdown.
I didn't find it a complete letdown. I thought it was delicious, actually. But I only ate one because I planned on not liking it, so I didn't want to eat any more. But it tasted good. It just left a really bad dry mouth in there. I thought it was really good, and actually if you eat the whole container, it's not that there's anything healthy about it, but in terms of calories, it's not as high and horrific as you would imagine.
310.
So me and Jason each ate one. I probably would have ate all of them, but we threw them out after. So we just bought it to try. It was like a couple bucks. I just felt like, when else are you gonna get to try mac and Cheetos? And Burger King is like the only thing we have in this small town that we live in, so yes, cheesy dry mouth is right. It was very dry afterwards. Alright guys, I think we are going to end this Q&A. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, that's right, YOLO that shit. You gotta YOLO that shit sometimes. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Aww, Winston's getting sad we're outside. Oh, buddy.
He's legit leaning his head in the door.
He's so sad looking. I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys can check out my YouTube channel if you don't already, Cara Corey Fit Life. And I'm Cara Corey Fit Life on Instagram, Cara_Corey on Snapchat.
Cara Corey Fit on Twitter.
Cara Corey Fit on Twitter. So you may join me in all of those social media avenues. And I will see you in the next live feed, which maybe you guys will see in my 4th of July vlog. But I also want to still kind of firm things up a little bit. So that is kind of my mindset going into this. Doing what I need to do to get results, but still feeling balanced and like I can have fun and not feeling totally restricted. So what I've done for the past 2 weeks, and that what I would suggest for you guys who haven't kind of started cutting or you don't know where to start,